Hi, I'm Gwen Fisher, and this is Take 5, where I share leadership thinking through the lens of communication. There's an old saying, fake it until you make it. I've never entirely bought into that. I believe that to do a job well, you need skill and good judgment. But there is one part of that saying that I think does apply to leadership. Sometimes you need to project confidence even when you don't feel completely certain. This is something I've had to learn myself. I'm someone who likes to consider different perspectives. Earlier in my career, I also had a tendency to think out loud with my teams and clients. Sometimes I still find myself doing this with my husband until I catch myself. I thought and think sometimes I'm being collaborative and thoughtful, but what I intended as consideration could sound like uncertainty. And when people are looking for direction, that matters. What I've learned is that you don't have to have answers immediately. You can pause, you can ask another question, you can say, let me think about that. In fact, I often tell leaders that I work with that they have more time to respond than they think they do. But when it is time to give direction, give it clearly. I was reminded of this recently by two people in completely different fields. James Burrows, the legendary television director behind shows like Taxi, Cheers, and Friends, has talked about the importance of giving actors clear direction. His philosophy was essentially choose a direction. And if it doesn't work, you can always come back and try something different. But people need something to respond to. I heard a similar lesson from psychologist Dr. Becky Kennedy. She demonstrated how differently we sound when we waffle versus when we speak with conviction. So, for example, maybe we could try this. I'm not sure. What do you think? Versus, here's what I think we should do. Same person, same underlying uncertainty, completely different leadership signal. And that's the distinction that is important. Leadership doesn't require certainty, but it does require clarity and conviction. There will be times when you genuinely don't know the answer. And that's perfectly okay to say. I haven't made that decision yet. Just say it clearly and tell people what happens next. Like, I will have my decision by the end of the week. Confidence isn't pretending you have all the answers. It's giving people confidence that you can find the way forward. My question for you, are you giving your team clarity even when you don't have certainty?